may be wondering, what the heck are you doing today? Well, we're chopping up some old donor steel that I got for free. I want these here, they're, what are they, 2x4? I think 2x4, 3/16 wall tubing. Well, that was a lot of work, but it's all cut up. G'day, folks. Schneb's back out in the shop here. You can see behind me we got the old 32 kind of up on a temporary thing. Anyway, we dragged it out because it's been in the background here in that pile of stuff for like, I don't know, a year or two. I kind of pull it out every now and then, tinker with it, put it back, pull it out, put it back. Just trying to get ideas and inspiration, I guess. But we're going to build a frame. I cut up that steel you've seen. There's a bunch of it underneath, and I still got welds. I've been grinding welds for like an hour here. It's just my ears are ringing. I've been grinding so much. Anyway, I got the first two pieces. That's the under the cab area here laid out, and I've just got a bunch of marks on my plywood for measurements and like the door length, and then the back piece right there. So I know how big the cab is, because, well, I never measured it when I put it together last time, and I probably should have. Anyway, we're gonna start with that section here, so we know where our cab goes, and we know how big the doors are, and how the cowl goes on, and then we'll cut, and then build the front part for the engine, which I don't even know what engine I'm using yet. I got a 350 sitting back there somewhere. I got the old Jeep motor, fully rebuilt. That one would be a good runner. But I don't have a two-wheel drive transmission, and I don't want to make that thing a four-wheel drive. So then I got this LS1 sitting here. I took that out of a 2000 Silverado just the other day. That'd probably be a good runner, but I have a two-wheel drive transmission for that. Again, same problem. I got a four-wheel drive transmission transfer case, but I don't want to build this as a four-wheel drive. Anyway, before I go any further, I will admit that I've never made a full frame from scratch. I've done parts frames for like the back half for like a stock car using a Camaro clip and things like that. Back in the day, I used to build dirt track cars, so it's not like I'm a stranger to doing it. I've just never done a full one. So there's been a lot of thought going into this. So on that note, I just want to give a shout out to a couple of YouTubers who are much bigger YouTubers than I'll ever be. Hardcore Fab, Hookers and Blow, and Old Crow are two of my favorite rigs. Those things are gorgeous, by the way. Nice job. So I'm stealing some of your ideas. You didn't want me stealing it. You shouldn't have put it on the YouTubes. The other one, and probably I've been watching a lot longer, was Rat Rod Bob. And that guy never stops, man. He makes some beautiful rigs. Anyway, those two guys have given me a ton of inspiration and ideas, so we're going to be stealing a little from both and some other YouTubers that I've watched. But anyway, let's get on with this. What I did there was I just did a little quick measurement here, like how long the doors are and how long the back piece is and the cowl here, so I know how long of a frame section I need, plus the extra to go into the engine compartment, and then the back for the rear suspension. A lot of figuring out little things, and you don't want to make a mistake and cut something too short, because then you're really going to be in trouble, because then you got to cut it all up and weld it, and you don't want to do that. Need some brain juice. How I want to do this. Alright, let's go 45s. So 18 inches up. There's a method to my madness here, folks. Trust me on this. good, but I want to make sure they're identical, so let's do this. That's pretty freaking identical. I was going to go ahead and take this, but I'm 99.99% sure it's fine. Well, folks, the boss saw that I was in my happy zone out here welding frames, you know, that's fun stuff. Killing time till I die. Anyway, it reminded me that one of our farm gates, the entire bottom bar was just hanging off of it. And this is the bar that sits on the, not on the ground, but it's buried under snow all winter long and in wet grass, so of course the bottom rotted out. Yeah, it's so rusted, barely even hold a tap. If you ever wonder why you shouldn't weld and mechanics wear gloves, that might be it. I got a little warm. Well, been a lot of sitting and thinking and pointing and measuring and more measuring and more thinking and more cutting and more measuring and thinking, and you get the idea. So I got the two sides of the frame. I just got these temporary braces put in, so I know my width. I'm going by what the front axle is, because that's really the only defining thing. Anything else can be tweaked. And I just squared this section up here and corner to corner kind of thing, and I'm out by 1/16 of an inch crossways. So this side, just a smidge. Yeah, who cares? It's a rat. And of course, we got our back meats. I'm just moving that into position here to mock things up. And there's one wheel here, the e-brake is froze up, so when it rolls, the whole thing rolls. I thought it was just the brakes, the caliper and pads off, but that didn't fix nothing. So anyway, here's what we're looking at. That going there, that going there. I just measured out, where is it? That line right there. So from the back, or I guess front of this, to here is the length of the body. Right up until the bottom of the firewall. But if you put that guy on there, and throw on a roof and some doors, this is what you're looking at. Not a whole lot of room in there, is there? He's a tiny little thing. Leg room, not required. This guy to roll in here. And no, these are not the right tires. They're just garbage that I had laying around. So we're looking at something like that. It's coming. It ain't there yet, but it's coming. I found the center point of this piece, so I don't really know how long I want to leave it, so I just left it. It's like 41 inches or something to the hacked up cuts that it is. I'm going to cut that out, and then I'll have two even sized pieces, or close enough for what I'm going to do to the front of this eventually. I still don't know, so. Yeah, I've burned up enough t-shirts recently that I probably should put this on. I've burned it up too. There we go. Some 45s. Did a little bit of grinding to clean them up, but that's expected. Well, that is going to go. Let's get that for a second. That goes on there like so. I definitely think that's going to go back a bit. Maybe another 4 or 5 inches. And that'll give me plenty of room up front for what I got planned. Well, that's what you gotta do when you're using old steel. You gotta cut pieces off and grind it, and I will pretty that up before we finish this job, but I don't even know where my motor mounts and stuff are going, so it might be inconsequential. The motor mount might line up right there. A problem for another time. As quickly as it goes, the memories are shadows. Ink on a page, and I fucking love you guys. Thank you. Cutting up some more scrap. Okay, let's tack that in and then get this leveled. So I got a level on this part of the frame. And I need to match this level to it. I don't need to, but I'm gonna. 0.3 of a degree off high in the front. So we want to go 0.3 of a degree here. Not that far off. 0.3 up, we need to go 0.3 down. Like that. 0.4. Let's go. Well, that's good for it. 0.4. 0.4. Our angle here on that part of the frame and this part of the frame are identical, right down to the decimal. All right, I got my laser level hooked up here, and the reason I'm doing this on the lift is because I can individually raise and lower each corner here, so I can get this bottom section lined up, and you can, I don't know if it's showing up or not. You can kind of see the line. It's kind of a weird color on camera. You can see the red. I don't know how well you... I'm colorblind, so red doesn't show up very well for me, but you can see that that one's completely level, and I just did exactly the same thing on the other side, and I've been going back and forth. You can see I got the bubble level and the digital level. So anyways, between the three, I got this level. I got figured out that the cab from those uprights, all the pieces should come to around 50 inches, which comes to right where that mark is there. So this here is all extra, and I'm thinking this is about where I'm gonna do my zoop cut. Okay, hopefully this is the last bit of grinding I gotta do for a while. I just got both Z notches finished. That's how long it was. So what I had, basically like that. That's what I just chopped out. So I did a long cut here to preserve the bottom, and then of course I had a piece in here that's flush up against this that I couldn't get at, so I had to cut all this out to make this little cut. So yeah, there's a lot of goofy cuts, all because I wanted to keep this piece kind of attached. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this, chop the end, and then just fold this up and then weld it on, and that'll close up the end of that tube. I'm gonna have to make one for back here. I thought these were gonna work, but they're too short. I gotta cut up more, but I got lots of scrap. That's not a problem. Hell, heck, it's all scrap. A little bit short. I didn't count enough for that bend, but I could fill a 1/4 inch gap. has a lot of welding. Lots of grinding yet to do, so I probably got another 2 hours of grinding, but the frame is all closed in except for the front because I don't know how long I need it. I'll cut some of that off. I don't need it that long. But everything else is closed in. It's all reinforced up. Z-cuts are plated and back ends plated. Now I just gotta let them cool off a bit. I'll stand them back up and put them back together. It's just easier to break the tacks, and that way I can spin them around, and just so much easier than to try to wrestle a whole entire frame by myself. I was thinking about grinding it before I put it all back together, but I might not even grind it. After all, it is a rat rod.